Welcome to Free Range Flock. We were once the latchkey kids who came home to an empty house after school. We were feral, resilient, cynical, and innovative. Older than Google. Our teenage faces were never posted on social media. The internet was just an idea in our youth. Now we are older, wiser, and thriving. Our independent ways will continue to serve us. We plan to keep defying the odds, and we will carve our own path. With grace, with humor, with joy. Our way. We've been through some stuff. We will continue to keep pushing, and we are not going anywhere. The former latchkey kids are now the free range flock.
So, Sarah, what is your Facebook feed? What's it trying to convince you of this week?
Oh, my goodness. Well, let's see. I need to have less wrinkles. I need to go on the perfect vacation. I need to buy a new pair of shoes.
Mine's trying to convince me to buy a van and convert it and live in it.
Oh.
That's not going to happen. I'll just tell you it's not going to happen. It's trying to... I do love handbags. I got that from my grandmother. I do love a good handbag. And so it's trying to sell me some handbags. And it's trying to convince me to take medicine for my belly.
Oh, God.
This is a made-up word. Who made up that word?
I don't know, but I don't like it.
It's a very stupid word. But as free rangers who enjoy their 50s and 60s, they start to notice that their bodies are changing in weird ways. And so I'm sure I'm voicing that out loud. And Facebook is like, oh, let's give her this ad. So I'm sure I'm saying it out loud. Like that extra little flap under your arm, you know what I'm talking about, or the multiple chins. Mm-hmm. But I love to work out. I love going to the gym. I love getting lost in my thoughts and push myself. But now I find I have to kind of push myself differently. Like yes. My knees are 54. Mm-hmm. They're not 25. I cannot push them that way. So frankly, it's just hard to stay motivated and positive about fitness now when you see people in their teens and their 20s and their 30s doing all these like high impact exercises. And I see them and sometimes watching someone jump up and down the gym just makes my knees hurt and I'm not jumping up and down. I'm like, how does that happen?
I have that conversation frequently in my house.
So, but I really, really want my knees to be my friends. I need them to be my friends. Yes. So after talking to my doctor, I realized that I could not do any high impact exercises. So I have to low impact it, or, if I'm at the gym and they're telling me to do jumping jacks, I have to ask for accommodation or modification or whatever. So it's hard. Like I used to be that girl that did the jumping jacks and did the jumping up and down, but now I can't do it. But high impact, it burns calories.
Yes.
So now like my metabolism's slowing down and now I got to work out differently and now I got to work even harder.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh, it's so hard. And we wear heart monitors in there. And so I can see my numbers on the board and I get frustrated because those 20-year-olds are like, ping, ping, ping. And I'm like, come on, let me get to the baseline. It's just, trying so hard. That is why I wanted us to talk to my dear pal, Christy Mackey from 9 Round here in Greensboro. 9 Round is one of those boutique gyms. They're cropping up all over the place where the trainer has already figured out your workout and you go in and they have it on the wall. You go to the different stations, you do the different workouts. That works for me. That doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me because I don't want to think. I thought all day long. I'm a single mom. I have multiple jobs. I've been thinking all day long. I wanted to go to the gym and not think. I just want to do. I want to do.
Right.
So that's why I work out there. And Christy is one of my trainers there. And she is like the most positive, energetic trainer I have ever met. She wants to be where she is at all times. It's just amazing. She connects with every person in that gym, even though she is shouting, burpee, burpee. She just believes in you. You think she thinks I can do this. It's amazing. But she also knows my limitations too, and she knows how to help me stay motivated, which I think is amazing.
That's a good trainer.
That's a good trainer.
If they can, know who you are, stay engaged with you, know where you need that encouragement.
Yeah. So I think our flock needs a taste of her positive vibe as we find new ways to stay healthy going forward.
Awesome. I can't wait to meet her.
Christy, it's so great to see you here outside of the gym. It's so weird to see you outside of a gym.
Right? Yes, thank you.
So let's start with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, cool. I'm Christy. I am a mom of 3, and I hold many careers, I feel like. First, I have a master's degree in rehabilitation counseling. That was my first kind of role of what I did. I worked at behavioral health as a counselor there. And then now I'm a fitness trainer. I'm a personal trainer. I coach boxing. I coach strength and condition classes. I run social media accounts. I write for the Oh Hey Greensboro with O. Henry. And I just am wearing many hats and doing lots of things. For my passion and free time, I really love fitness. I'm really into that. I'm really into exploring the city and like other places around Greensboro. So I try and stay super active and busy all the time. I thrive really well that way, and so I love that way.
So what inspired you to work in the fitness industry?
Yeah, so I was inspired to work in fitness because I started in a hospital setting, and I was working with patients that were in, rehabilitation type needs. And I realized how much I enjoyed working with people and helping people, but it was hard to find the positive light in that sometimes, and sometimes discouraging as a counselor. And so I knew I needed to be in a place where people felt encouraged and motivated, and then felt that they could drive and do something from that. And so I really got into fitness myself in my mid-20s, and I just got like super attached into like, wow, this feels really good to take care of myself. And it was after I had my first baby, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do this for me. This feels good. And this was like my time to like work out and feel good. And then it just grew into like, I wanted to try something else. And now I'll try a cycle class, and then I'll try a boxing class. And I just started trying all these different means of fitness, and found that I was like, you know what, I think I could totally coach this. This would be so fun. And it just kind of grew into that. And so then one thing has kind of led to another, and opportunities have been presented the more that I've kind of been in the fitness industry. And so it's just grown my passion even more for that.
Fantastic. So one of the many things I admire about you is how you're such a powerful presence with your clients. We were talking earlier about how you always want to be where you are. You always radiate that at all times. How do you keep such a positive outlook? I need to know the secret.
Yeah, that's funny. It's so interesting that you asked that. Many people are like, wow, do you just really love your job? And yes, I think like I'm such a believer. And I remember, in my master's classes that some of my professors would say, you got to find something you love, and then you won't have to work, or, however it is. And that's how I felt. I felt that once I got into fitness, I just felt like it was meant for me. It was meant for me to encourage and motivate people, and to meet people where they're at. And so I felt that I'm good at motivating people because I need that. I think about what works for me when I'm working out, and it feels good when I kind of receive that feedback and affirmation of that you're doing right, you're doing this, you got this, you're stronger than yesterday. And so for me, I'm just super motivated in fitness because I practice what I preach. I do it myself. And so I love that part of it.
So when we were kids, working out, like running with our friends in the yard or riding our bikes or swimming in the pool, it was fun. Fitness was fun. It was playtime. And something happens when we become adults and we think differently about those same activities. How do you motivate people to think differently about fitness?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that people need to know that we're not all built to do the same things. And I think that's what's great about, in fact, our community of Greensboro, because there's such a variety of fitness and there's things for different people. And I think it's important to meet people where they're at. And, people need to feel encouraged that, you have hip injuries or knee injuries or back, but there's still things you can do to move your body and be healthy. And so I think the encouragement piece that people need is to know that you can be met where you are, and that just because you have an ailment, and that kind of goes with anything in life, that it doesn't really hinder you from, you can still find a way to work through it, work around it, find something that works for you. So I'm such a believer on a lot of my personal training clients, in fact, are older women that, their bodies don't work like they used to. And that's totally fair and understandable. And that's how it should be. We're not meant to be 20-year-olds forever, and our bodies don't function like that forever. So I think making people feel that like you can do this in a different way that feels right for your body is such a healthy thing to do for yourself.
So I work out where you work at 9 Round. And when I talk to Sarah about it, I talk about how the young ones in there, like the young ones in there just jumping up and down. They're just jumping up and down. And I'm like, their knees. I'm like, my 54-year-old knees will not let me do those things. But Christy always finds like, okay, but you can do this or you can do that.
Yeah.
And that's just so lovely. So, and I'm still watching my heart monitor and watching it, so it still goes up. So it's lovely that you can find that way to keep us moving and motivated.
Yeah, for sure.
I liked what you said about meeting people where they're at, because I feel like, especially as we get older, we're afraid to go to the gym. We're afraid to, put ourselves out there in a physical way because we live in such a youth-obsessed culture.
Right.
Yeah. So I just loved hearing you say that, because that to me is super important, because we all are at different places.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you. I think it's so important for sure.
Our free rangers out there, how do you keep them motivated to when their bodies are changing? What's the secret?
Yeah, I think it's important to find exercises that are appropriate for people based on what their level of capabilities are. For a lot of my clients that are older or even at 9 Round, it's a high intensity workout, and that's hard in itself for anybody at any age. But I think that it's important for people to know that there are modifications, that there are ways to make things right and fit for you. I think that, as you said, we live in a culture that is so younger driven right now. We have a college town that we're in, that's what we see a lot of. But I think it's fair that there's a lot of variety out there. And so people can have various means of working out. And I even encourage people that even if you move your body, whatever that looks like for you, maybe you go for a walk in the afternoon, maybe you strive to walk a mile today. Any type of movement of your body is better than nothing at all. And I think people forget that something is better than nothing. And I think that's the most important thing, especially as we age, that just moving your body in some type of way each day is super important.
How do you see the fitness industry changing as our generation ages? How is it changing?
Yeah, I think it's changing because there's so many variety of boutique gyms out there. I mean, we have, cycling to strength training to kickboxing and Pure Barre, and there's just so many different types of fitness. I think that's forever going to be a thing. It's always going to be something new coming, and some new thing that's popular, and it's going to take heat for a while, and then there's traditional things that work for people too. So I think what's going to happen is that fitness is going to always be a booming thing. There's going to be lots of options for people, and I think like as we age, it's important to know, of course, what your limitations are, so that you can try something new if that feels right for you. But then know that there's always the tried and true things of walking outdoors or kickboxing, something like that that makes it appropriate for all levels of fitness and all levels of people.
So like Christy's my trainer, but my dog is also my trainer too.
That's right. See, there
my
you
dog
go.
Archie is also my trainer.
Yes, 100%.
Dogs are they do that. I mean, I have 2 dogs, and they will make you go outside.
Oh yes, you have no choice.
Like I wasn't planning to work out today. Oh, I gotta walk the dog.
Gotta go walk the dog.
Exactly.
Oh.
The boxing for Parkinson's. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so it's Rocksteady Boxing. It's a program that Pure Energy Fitness here in Greensboro is an affiliate for, and we're the only one in Greensboro. I think the next closest is Cary, and then there's one in Clemens. So it's an affiliate program that teaches boxing solely for folks that are diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And we have at our location here in Greensboro 2 levels. So there's 4 levels, but they're broken into 2 classes. So we have a level 1 and 2 that are kind of more progressed in the disease, and then we have a level 3-4 that are a little more newer to the disease, so they're a little more higher functioning. So the program focuses, it's an hour and 15-minute class, and we focus on a warm-up, a cool-down. We do stretching, boxing, strength and conditioning, and then some kind of game. So we make it very community-based. We have kind of a get-to-know-you at the beginning so that everybody kind of knows each other in the group, because they're kind of, the expectation is that they're there with us for a while. And we just work on, just across the body, thinking from mind to the body, and how your body's affected by Parkinson's. So we focus on, for instance, coordination and balance and that kind of thing. So it's just important for a program like that people that are diagnosed with Parkinson's disease kind of have different deterioration levels in that. And so it's important that we kind of help subside some of their symptoms, and this helps them to be stronger.
One thing that occurs to me is that you said you were a mom of 3. So that's, I'm not a mom, but I have lots of friends who are moms, and I know how busy you are when you're a mom. And here you have 3 kids, and you listed something like 6 jobs when you came in. So how do you balance your family life with your kids, your busy work life, and then finding time for yourself to be doing those fitness things that you want to do to make yourself healthy up here?
Yeah, good question. I do first and foremost think it's important to practice what you preach, and I preach fitness and health and those things. And what works well for me, being a mom of 3, I have a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 7-year-old, all girls. And I try and be a good role model for them. I'm such an advocate for women can do all things, and I preach that to my girls all the time. I'm like, you take care of yourselves now, because when you're my age and when you're older than that, it's going to be so important what you do now. And so I think what works well for me in balance is I start my day super early, and I function well that way. I work out early in the morning. I get that out of the way because I then think it sets me up for all the good things for the rest of the day. I eat better. I feel better. I'm well rested that night. And I just function better that way. And then I know I live my life by a calendar, and I know what's coming and what I have planned for that day. And I just live by that, follow through with that. And then when I go to bed every night, I know what's coming the next day. I'm not a procrastinator, but I am a Leo. So maybe there's a little something there. But I just try and stay kind of practice what I preach, and I live by my calendar, and I really just motivate and encourage even my kids. I mean, it's just, I feel like it's such ingrained in me that I don't even know that I consider it a job anymore, that I'm just such a motivator. Even my kids, I mean, they come to the gym and work out, and they love it, and it's not forced. And I think that's important too. When your kids see that you live a healthy lifestyle, then it kind of sets you up to be like, you know what, I'm going to do this for my kids now if I'm not doing it for me, or, so yeah, I think that's it.
When you get older, weird things happen to your body.
Yes.
Okay? Weird things happen. So some of us have the flap.
Oh, yes.
I'm pointing now to the area near my armpit, below my
our bat wings.
Those bat wings.
I have those too.
Yeah. Like, I was always so muscular. And now I'm like, why is this waving at me down here? Or we'll have pictures, and like, why do I have multiple chins? Like, I don't think I have multiple chins most time. Like, there's like unique things that happen to us, like besides the knees and the joints hurting. But there's, do you get women saying, hey, what can I do about that dang flap?
Yeah.
And what do you tell them?
Yes.
Let's hear that now.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh. Well, we are first our own worst critics. I mean, we will criticize the crap out of ourselves. And I think everybody does that, from super healthy, fit people to folks that are just kind of starting in a journey of this. And what I tell those people is, for instance, there was a lady that I met the other day that she was talking about, she's really just set on wearing this dress for the summer. And she says, but I've got to lose this weight in order to get in this dress. And you don't understand. I got to look the part. And so I asked her, who do you need to look the part for? Is it for yourself, or are you doing this because you think what other people are going to think? Because I think it goes back to kind of that, that just original mindset of like, what makes me feel good? And what do I feel good with? And I think it's important whenever we think about the things that we dislike about our bodies, or we see areas that we're like, man, I really hate that about myself, or I really wish I could change that about myself, is to think of something positive that goes with it. For instance, for me, maybe there are days that I wake up and I'm like, oh, I wish my legs looked different, or I wish that I could wear shorts or something and feel confident in them. And for me, then I think to myself, you know what? First of all, I'm so glad that I can use my legs to walk, and I can move, and I can jump, and I can run, and I can do those things. So I think if we can turn sometimes those negative thoughts into find one positive thing about it, and then, okay, yes, we hate our bat wings, but that's okay because we know how to work them out and we can exercise them. We just can't pinpoint all of the negativity all the time. I think finding something positive in the negative is okay.
Right.
And it's okay to have some things that we don't like about our bodies, because then I think we can use that as motivation to be like, I'm going to work this area because this matters to me and it bothers me. And so I think that's okay. Sometimes motivating for ourselves.
When I see Christy, I think of a certain exercise. You know which one I'm thinking.
The bad word.
The bad word. The B word.
Are we talking about burpees?
We're talking about burpees.
Amy's favorite.
And so with 9 rounds, like a lot of these gyms, is like the trainers already figured it out and written that you kind of go over there and do the thing, which I love. I love not thinking in the gym. I like, go, do the thing, stop, do the thing. I love it because I've been thinking all day. I don't need to think anymore. I just want to like make my body move.
Right.
But when we go up to a station that has a burpee, and she's like, Amy, your favorite. Like, and it's not my favorite. But I will say, I actually like. I don't love them, of course. Like when I hear them, I'm like, but I can do them.
That's right.
I know. I'm like, I've been here doing this for a couple of years, and now I can do them.
Yep.
What is the weird fascination with burpee?
Well, that's so funny. I think first of all, I love burpees because one, they're like the easiest way to burn a ton of calories. Apparently, for every burpee you do, you burn like 3 or 4 calories, and that's like the most intense movement. I know, right? You're like,
3?
That's it. But it's just one of those exercises that I feel like it utilizes every single part of your body, and you have to be able to use every single part of your body. And it's just one of those that's such an empowering movement that's like, if you can do a burpee, then you can do any exercise, I feel like. In consideration, because a burpee is also one of those exercises that can be modified, and you can make it work for anybody. And then that feels good when people know that, like, man, I'm doing one of the hardest exercises and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I think that feels great, and I think people are encouraged by that.
So at the gym, there's the tradition, I'm going to call it a tradition, that you have to do your birthday burpees. So like this year I turned 54. I had to do 54 burpees on my birthday at the gym. And they let me break it up. So like there's 9 stations and I did 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. That was a lot. That was interesting. But remember when we did it last year and you followed me around the gym and you're like, all right, you're at this number. What were you doing this time in your life at this? I'm like, oh. So it was like, it was like a walk
game.
I
forgot about that.
It made it a game, and it made it interesting because while I was doing them, I was reflecting. I'm like, I totally just didn't think about what my body was doing. But I realized that if people are listening, they may not, like, they'll hear the word burping and go, I don't know what that is. Like, are you burping? I mean, what are you doing? So can you describe, like, to someone what a burpee is?
Yeah. So you would start standing, and then you put your hands to the floor, jump your feet back so that you're in a high plank, go into a push-up, push yourself back up, jump your feet back in towards your hands, and then jump all the way up so you're back to standing. So it's kind of like this 4-part little series that you go through.
Oh my gosh. Besides the burpee, what else do you love?
I love all kinds of high intensity exercises. Like I love jump squats. I love things that are kind of multi joint exercises. So I love like jump squats, but I also love like any kind of dumbbell things. I feel like you can do a plethora of things with dumbbells, from shoulder press and bicep curls and just all kinds of things. I feel like anything that uses muscles, there you can use more than one muscle. I like those things. So
there are sometimes at the gym I get really tired. I'm like, when I leave, I'm like really tired. But there's few exercises sequences that you guys have us do that when I do it, I'm like, I am a badass. Look at me. Whenever there is what's called a spinning back fist.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you're standing, and Chrissy's going to jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. You're standing in front of a long bag. You spin around really fast, and then with your fist, you hit the bag, and you come back around. I always feel like a badass when I do stuff like that. So I think part for me is finding those exercises that I just really love and kind of revel in them.
Yeah.
And the next station may have burpees, but I'm a badass right here with this spinning back fist.
I think that's the thing with kickboxing is it's become such a, I mean, our gym here in Greensboro is 70% women, which is interesting because, most people are like, oh, that's a boy's sport or that's a boy. But it's very much, anybody could do it. And I think that's the thing, like you said, the empowering part is there's so many exercises when you hit something and you stress relief. I think you made the comment yesterday of, man, we've saved a lot of lives here.
I've said that. I'm like, I go to 9 round to keep myself out of jail.
That's
so
right.
I don't hit people.
Yeah. And I think
sometimes I get frustrated.
Yeah. And you can use that in any kind of exercise and fitness world, thinking, I cycle and spin and that feels good to me. But then kickboxing, beat the crap out of these bags and it's better than beating the crap out of people.
Yeah. Not that I would actually, I'm not a violent person, but just the idea. But there was a station we had to do, it's called a double hammer. So you got the mitts on and you just hit as hard as you can. And I pictured on the bag a situation, or maybe a person, maybe a situation that I was getting stressful with. And I just, for 3 minutes, just as hard. I mean, and it was, I left and I felt so calm and so at peace.
Yeah.
It's amazing how working out just kind of gives you that clarity.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think, it's funny when people come in, morning folks versus evening folks, they're kind of at different stages. Their day's just starting and maybe they dread something that's coming that day, or they're kind of like, this is going to set me up for good. I'm going to get all my stress out here. Yeah. And then there's those folks that come after work that are like, oh, what a day.
Yeah.
And, I got to get it all out here. And then they go home and they're, they feel better. And I think that's what fitness is good. When you can find what feels good and fits right, and you forget that you're working out and you feel like, I'm doing something really good for myself. And then maybe 30 minutes, I'm sore, I'm tired. Oh, is this ever going to end? And then it's over and you go home and come back the next day and it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So can you leave us some words of wisdom? Just thinking about, we're older, we need to move more, our bodies are changing. What can you leave us with? Some inspiration.
Yeah, I think it's important, like I said, to move your body every day, like we talked about. I think it's important to, accountability is a really good thing, whether that's a friend or a family member or a kid. I think it's important to have somebody that kind of keeps you accountable, or maybe it's a trainer at your gym that knows that you're coming, I'm coming back tomorrow. I think that's important. I think it's important that we remember, yes, it's okay to have some negative thoughts about ourselves, but find something positive that you love about yourself too, because then it's important to focus on those things. And I think we forget that sometimes, especially in the hustle and bustle of the world and working and all the things we have going on. We forget, sometimes that's important to, what do I love about myself today? And maybe it changes every day, and that's okay too. But I think that move your body, find something you love, and stay accountable.
Thank you so much, Christy, for coming in. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much. You too.
Cool. Thank you so much.
So what'd you think about Christy?
Oh, she's lovely. You're right. She is so incredibly positive. And I can't believe that she has 3 kids and has like 6 jobs.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. I mean, I hate to see your calendar.
She said that there are so many different colors. It's, she had to color code. There's so many things on her calendar. And she shares her calendar with someone that she works with. And they asked her to please remove her calendar from their calendar because they couldn't have space. There was no space.
Yes. Yes. But she, again, finding that motivation when you can't do the high impact anymore. I mean, in my heart, I want to run. I want to burn those calories, run around them, but I just can't do it. And so finding someone that can keep you motivated is a key. So did anything kind of stick with you about like a big takeaway from talking to Christy?
Well, I didn't realize that the fitness world had such a love-hate relationship with burpees.
Oh,
I don't do burpees.
Yeah.
And my knees don't like me enough to do burpees. So, but I do a lot of yoga. So similar poses and things like that. But everyone talks about them. I thought they were like a good thing and everyone hates them.
Your body, when I was telling Christy, I'm like, I hate it. But your body loves it. Your body's saying thank you. And I'm like, I don't feel a thank you right now. Just.
But one of the things that in all seriousness, one of the things that she said was meeting people where they're at. Yeah. I mean, there are so many people who are afraid to start a fitness program.
Right.
whether it's they're afraid to go to the gym because, they don't feel like they're fit enough to go to a gym, or if they've never done a fitness program before. Everyone should find something that they can do to help celebrate their body because, we only get one of these things and we should try to take care of it as best as we can. And the fact that she and trainers like her are able to, meet you where you are and work with you to find a plan that would work for your body.
Right. All right. So now I'm motivated. Let's go do burpees right now.
No. In our comments, make sure that you tell us what your favorite fitness activity is. What motivates you to get out the door and take a walk or to go do a burpee?
I know.
What do you love to do?
Tell us your secrets. We want to know.
Thank you for joining us for Free Range Flock. Our goal is to inspire and celebrate who we are, the Generation X kids who grew up and decided to do things their way, with grace, humor, and joy. This has been a production of Sassy Am. If you want to learn more about our podcast, follow our blog, share your positive insights about being a free ranger, or to suggest topics or guests for future episodes, please visit our website at sassayam.com. That's SASSAYAM.com. Keep pushing.